Car inside. Clear low. Outside. You're in the middle, 3 wide. You got a car outside.
Push, push, push. Remember the chance of winning this.
Welcome to Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for 35 laps of Xfinity B-Fixed action. I am rolling off P3 in the Polaroid Toyota Supra. Let's get to green. We're lined up, second row inside, coming to take the green flag. And let's get racing! But if you look in the rearview mirror, not gonna last very long. 2 cars sideways on the front stretch and we are immediately under caution. Let's take a look at the replay of what happened on that start. Bottom line launches, top line does not, stacks up, car turns down to avoid the chaos and just collects the field with them. However, this is about to turn really good in my favor. So as we are rolling down the backstretch under caution, the leader starts really slowing down. I assume this is because we have to let the pace car catch up to us, so I start slowing down as well. But then we get a radio communication saying, hey, pace car's on the backstretch. What are we doing? Catch the pace car. And then right as I roll past the first place car, I am told to catch the pace car, and all of a sudden, I am P1. We are barely underway, and I have already moved myself up from 3rd to 1st. As we come to the restart, my goal, go as early in the box as I can with as good of a launch as I can so I can immediately get down to the bottom in turn 1 and make sure no one else can get to my inside. Immediately get myself clear up top. Turn down into the corner trying to carry as much speed as I can without losing the rear end. Fortunately, with those caution laps and kind of that false start, tires are warm, so I have got good grip. Don't really see anyone coming out back behind me, but you know what? I decided I'm not letting anybody slide me, so I'm going to take the top here on turns 3 and 4, try and keep as much pace as I can. Cars get to my inside, but I'm going to have a much better run out of 4. I'm going to be clear coming out of 4, leading my first lap of the race. Starting to pull a little bit of a gap too to the cars behind me. My thought process at this moment is just turn my laps, be consistent, and see if we can't pull away. However, if the first lap was any indication, that's not the way that this race is going to go yet. And we are back under caution with those 2 cars spinning on the backstretch. So we're under caution, still P1, which is great, but got to restart and do that work again. Fortunately, there were no weird pace car shenanigans this time, so I'm still starting P1. Thought process coming up to the box here is go a little bit later, see if I can't fool some of the people around me, get actually a bump from the car behind and get a great launch. Results me clearing up top again. I'm just going to take the exact same approach that I had for the last restart. Just run it low, try and hold as much speed as I can. And then on exit, I'm taking a look in my mirror, seeing who's behind me and seeing who's got to run and seeing if there's anything I need to do to block it. Fortunately, we're all good, so I decided this time I'm going to take 3 and 4 low as well, see if I can't save a little bit of tire. 17 absolutely ships it in there on me though. Fortunately, it doesn't catch, but does pass the 11, so I've now got a 17 kind of chasing me down, hoping I make a mistake. Really good turns 1 and 2 here from me. See the amount of distance that I put on the 17 car, and he is not going to be able to catch me on the back stretch. Fortunately, that mistake I was talking about, I'm about to make it. Just barely clip the apron, straightens me out, and absolutely kills my run off the corner 17 is all over my bumper and is able to get in my inside coming down the front stretch. With that, I'm stranded up top. Going to have to take the top line through 1 and 2, which will give me a really nice run down the back. 8 cars to my inside. Like I said, I'm going to get an awesome run off this corner, and I am barely going to be able to clear the 8 car before I swing it inside, get to the inside of the 17. Absolutely ship it into 3 and 4. I was really hoping I'd get clear, just drove it in a little too deep, and so he's still to my outside, going to absolutely kill my run down the front stretch. 8 car decides he wants to go high, and the 7 car with a massive run is going to now look to my inside and going to make it 3 wide, and I am stuck in the middle. Really not where I wanted to be. And then the 7 car is just going to hurt me even more and slide up in front of me on exit and just kind of leave me stranded in no man's land with no speed. Now stuck in 4th. At this point, what's going through my mind is just turn my laps, don't use up any more tire than I have to, hope that they'll eventually come back to me, and just kind of trust in my own pace. I've also kind of got to worry about the 11 car. I can see in my rear view and see if they make a run on me. I see he goes high here. I'm just trying to get to the bottom, run a nice clean corner. I know I'm going to clear him. You can see 3 wide coming out of the corner, so they are coming back to me quick. Once again, let these 2 in front of me battle and see if I can't pick up the pieces from it. Overdrive middle a little bit there, so I'm getting wide on exit. Using up a little bit more tire than I should have. There's a lot of hindsight going on watching this now and commentating on it, but at the moment I was having a blast. Seven car just kind of sticks himself in that middle no man's land. He's able to then get me to his inside, trying to pull some side draft on him, slow him down, drag him back to me a little bit. And then I'm really hoping that I can clear him here out of 4 so I can have a really nice exit into 1. That is not going to be the case. Still to my outside, but I'm now going to try and shortcut the track as much as possible. Still trying to keep to his inside. He is not clear. So I'm able to get down to the bottom. Kind of just trying to run my line here. As the 17 starts getting tight on exit, I do as well. I have to lift a little bit. I'm really just trying to focus here on being patient on throttle and wait until the car rotates, and I know I'm going to make it on exit. 7 car still to my outside. I really want to clear him. And I'm going to attempt to do just that. Except he pins me low. The 17 running high just does not have the run through the middle of the corner. 7 has to lift. And I get really close to clipping him. Manage to keep it off him and swing over and get clear. And then absolutely block his run on the inside. I'm not going to let him back by me. But while doing that, I get really tight. And then myself and about 2/3 of the field all just completely smoke the wall on exit. Fortunately, no damage, car's clean, and we're able to keep going and start looking forward. 8 and 17 still being real racy, so once again, thought is clean laps. Get down to the bottom, don't overdrive it, save a little bit of front for later in the run. Yeah, skipping forward a couple laps here, just kind of running my laps. It's the 8 car, the 17, and then myself. 17's really trying to make that top work, but is kind of non-committal to it here, which then allows me to get to his inside. Once again, I am absolutely trying to side draft as much as possible. I want to slow him down as much as I can, see if I can't get this position coming out of 3 and 4 here. Really hooked that corner up well, and I'm able to clear onto the front stretch. And then he is going to get all up in my rear view, and I realize he wants that bottom, and I am not going to give it to you. He tries giving me a little crossover move. I do not fall for it. Downside being that I am now really tight on entry, and I just got to try and speed this thing up out of exit as much as possible, but still clear. I think at this point the 17 realizes he just doesn't have it on me. Gives me a nice little shove going down the back stretch. I then once again run the bottom. He kind of runs his lane up, and I am just going to have a much better exit. And especially because if you look, he gets tight, has to lift a little bit, and now all of a sudden I've got a little bit of breathing room out back, and I can shift my focus from defending towards catching the 8 car. Which, skipping some laps here, and I decide, you know what? I am tired of riding. I want to see what I can do up top, see how much speed I can get. And I get an absolutely fabulous run on the 8 car. It's not enough to catch him here, but now I know I can find some pace up top if I want it, and I can get all over his rear end when I need to. And I'm going to say, you know what? It worked in 1 and 2. Let's try it in 3 and 4. Except running about a lane down here. And I am going to catch him here now before turns 1 and 2. Unfortunately, I really just don't feel like I have the speed overlap to make anything work. I also want the top, so ease off a little bit, try and enter nicely, get on the gas as soon as I can, get the car rotated, and try and build as much of a run as I can coming down the backstretch. Except, same sort of issue I had on the front. I'm just not going to catch him in time, and I really don't want to take the bottom right here. So, lift a little, take the top again, except this time I'm trying a little bit more of a cut down line, seeing if I can't stay a little bit closer with a little bit more overspeed on him so I can get this move done here on the front stretch. Which I'm going to attempt, getting his mirrors, show him, you know what? I'm going to run high here. I want the top, you can have the bottom. Moves up, and then I immediately move back down and get on his inside. Except I completely overdrive the corner. I am in that middle groove I do not want to be in. He is still to my outside. And then we make a little contact here, swerve down, I lose a little bit of speed, come back up, block the 17. Gives me a nice little shove again. Really appreciate it, 17. And trying to run the top, see if I can't gain some more pace. 17 actually looks really good coming out, but being on his outside, he just cannot keep his foot in it. And I am now trying to make myself as big as I can in this 8 car's mirror and see what I can get away with. 8 car switching things up on me, trying to also run the top, seeing the speed that I'm making up there, trying to get a little fresh air on my nose. Coming about even out of the corner, similar pace. And at this point, I'm trying to decide what I got to do to both catch him again and then also pass him. See him move low, so I'm going to try that cut down line again. Once again, 17 car absolutely ships it in there on 3 and 4. Gets tight, gives me the spot. I'm catching the 8 car again. And at this point I start realizing I really want to run the bottom in 3 and 4. It might be where I need to make pace. And the thing that I'm noticing with the 8 car is that he is exiting higher than I am, meaning he has to keep a little bit more wheel in it, burning up those right fronts, heating them up. And if I can keep up this kind of low exit that I've got in 3 and 4, it's really going to help me. I see him take the high side, decide, you know what? Let's see what I can make up on the bottom. Flip the apron a tiny little bit. Turns out helps me with rotation, but just slow out, and he's able to start pulling a little bit of a gap on me just because he has that pace from the top. But run the bottom here again in 3 and 4, keeping an eye on him, seeing if he's still got that issue where he's exiting higher than I am. And this time he does a lot better job of it. Keeps it kind of held down, doesn't add more heat to those front tires, able to turn well and kind of maintain his gap to me. Not entirely sure why he's not coming all the way down to the white line there, trying to shortcut as much as possible, but hey, I'll take it. Trying to get a really late apex and straight line this exit. It turns out it's working for me. I'm catching. Just got to keep setting my laps, keep him in front of me, and see what I got for him here in the waning moments of this race. But once again, you can see him, he's pushing up on exit. So I know that I'm going to have a better run than him off, just because it seems like he had to lift a little bit there to avoid collecting the wall. And I am now just going to try and race him as hard as I can to see if I can't get him to make another mistake. Pay attention to this 2-car coming out of the pits, by the way. He's going to factor in here in a lap or two. Once again, running the bottom, really late apex, trying to get on the gas as hard as I can, as soon as I can, and I am now inside the 8-car, fighting for the lead. He throws a really nice move on me there, trying to get down low, block my run. Once again, though, he's getting on the gas a little bit too soon, and he realizes it and lifts on corner exit. I steer hard left, trying to keep myself off him. I realize I have the overspeed on him, and I'm going to take that run to the inside. I really now want to try and see if I can clear him out of here. Take this corner a little bit too shallow. Really have to wait on the gas, and that's going to hurt me here on exit, where he is still going to be to my outside, so I cannot open that corner up. Once again, just trying to side draft the ever-living crap out of him. See if I can't slow him down. You remember that 2-car that I told you to watch coming out of the pits? Yeah, lap down, throws it inside on the leaders on the last lap. So the 8-car and I are racing to the line here for the checkered flag. 8-car comes down a little bit, hits me in the side, and I am going to come through in P1 and a race win. I am absolutely stoked after this race. And then now, as I come around this corner, I realize these fireworks are for me, and I am celebrating. This was an incredible race, had a lot of fun with it, a little bit of tire management, a little bit of strategy, just had an absolutely phenomenal time. I love these cars, handle so well, especially love this track too. Multi-groove, run sort of wherever you want. So just showing kind of a replay now of that last lap and a half, where getting down here on the inside of the 8-car, really getting as close to him as I can, as I'm comfortable. I don't want to spin him, but I'm racing hard. Great move by him here, coming to the white flag, kind of take my nose away from me. But as you can tell, he starts getting on the throttle and he starts moving up the track, and he is going to hit the wall. I try keeping it off him. Once again, not entirely sure why he did not come down there and try and block my run. 17 car now getting involved. Who gave a nice little bump to the 8-car there. 17 in the middle, 8 up top, me down low. Try and get as much throttle and as much turn out of this corner as I can. Could have taken even a little bit more. Really kind of blocked the 17 there. And then this is the moment that I just do not understand from this 2-car and fresh tires. Absolutely shifts it on the inside of the top 2 fighting for the lead on the last lap. However, exit the corner. I hold him a little bit high here. We bang doors. It's all good. Come across the checkered flag. P1.